Jonah and the Big Fish, the prophet who pressed decline, a modern retelling. Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been asked to do something you really didn't want to do. Maybe it was cleaning your room. Maybe it was apologising to your sibling. Maybe it was eating broccoli when you'd rather eat literally anything else on planet Earth. Well, buckle up, because today's Bible story is about a guy who tried to ghost God. Spoiler alert, it did not go well. Meet Jonah. Jonah was a prophet, which basically means he had a direct hotline to God. When the creator of the universe called, Jonah's job was to answer and deliver the message. One day, God called Jonah with a very important mission. Jonah, go to the great city of Nineveh. Tell them to stop doing wrong, or there will be consequences. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Nineveh was the capital of Assyria, Israel's biggest enemies. These were the people who had been mean to Jonah's people for years. We're talking legendary levels of not nice. So when God said, go warn them so they can be saved, Jonah's reaction was basically, how about no? Instead of heading east to Nineveh, Jonah bought a ticket on a ship going west to Tarshish. That's literally the opposite direction. It's like your mum asking you to take out the bins in the garden and you respond by catching a flight to Australia. Jonah thought he could run away from God. Spoiler alert number 2, you cannot run from the God who made everything. The storm. So there's Jonah sailing away, probably feeling pretty clever. He heads below deck and falls asleep. But God sent a massive storm. We're talking waves the size of houses, thunder shaking the boat. The sailors, tough, experienced boatmen, were absolutely terrified. They started throwing cargo overboard to lighten the ship. Meanwhile, Jonah's down below, snoring away like he hasn't got a care in the world. The captain runs down and shakes him. How are you sleeping? Get up and pray to your God. The sailors cast lots to figure out who caused this disaster, and, wouldn't you know it, the lot fell on Jonah. All right, Jonah confessed. This is my fault. I'm running from God. Throw me into the sea and the storm will stop. The sailors tried everything else first. They weren't heartless. But finally, with no other choice, they tossed Jonah overboard. Splash! Immediately, the storm stopped. The sea went calm as glass. Those sailors, they became believers right there. Even Jonah's mess-up pointed people to God. The fish. Now, you might think this is the end of Jonah. Man overboard in the middle of the ocean? Game over, right? Wrong. Because God wasn't finished with Jonah. God had a plan. Out of the deep, dark water came a giant fish. Some translations say whale. Either way, enormous. The kind of creature that makes a great white shark look like a goldfish. And that fish, it didn't eat Jonah. It swallowed him, whole, like a fishy rescue submarine. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah sat inside that fish. Can you imagine? It was dark. It was slimy. It probably smelled like, well, let's just say it wasn't Febreze fresh. But inside that fish, something changed in Jonah's heart. He finally stopped running. He prayed. He thanked God for saving him. He said, salvation comes from the Lord. And when Jonah's heart turned back to God, the fish swam to shore and, blur, barfed Jonah right onto the beach. Yes, that's actually in the Bible. Chapter 2, verse 10. You're welcome. Second chance. So there's Jonah, covered in fish gunk, standing on dry land. And God spoke again. Jonah, go to Nineveh. Same mission, same calling, but this time, Jonah went. He walked into that massive city. It took 3 days just to cross it and delivered God's message. 40 more days and Nineveh will be destroyed. And here's the amazing part. The people listened. From the king all the way down to the animals. Yes, even the animals wore sackcloth. Look it up. Everyone in Nineveh turned from their wicked ways and asked God for forgiveness. And God? He showed mercy. He forgave them. The whole city was saved because one reluctant prophet finally said yes. So what's the point? Here's the thing, friend. Sometimes God asks us to do hard things. Things we don't want to do. Maybe it's being kind to someone who's been mean to you. Maybe it's speaking up when everyone else is quiet. Maybe it's saying sorry when your pride is screaming, "Don't do it." And we have a choice. We can be like Jonah version 1, running, hiding, pretending we didn't hear. Or we can be like Jonah version 2, saying, "Okay, God, I don't really feel like it, but I trust you. Let's go." Here's some good news. Even when we mess up and run, God doesn't give up on us. He's the God of second chances, and third chances, and 100th chances. He doesn't just tolerate us, he pursues us. He sends storms and fish and whatever it takes to bring us back because he loves us that much. You might feel small. You might feel scared. You might feel like, why would God use me? But remember, God used a grumpy, runaway prophet and a big, smelly fish to save an entire city. He can definitely use you. So the next time God puts something on your heart, even if it's hard, even if it's scary, even if you'd rather do literally anything else, take a deep breath and say, "Okay, God, I'm not running this time. Let's do this." Because you were made for a purpose. And that purpose, it's way better than the belly of a fish. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, and Jonah obeyed. Jonah 3:1-3. The end.